Welcome to the City Current Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference, empowering the good. And we love talking about literacy, and in this case, Literacy Mid-South. We're honored to be joined by their executive director, Sam O'Brien III. How are you doing?
Jeremy, I am doing fine, man. Thanks for having me on today.
Absolutely. When you talk about literacy, extremely important to the Mid-South, to our nation as well. So we'll talk about the importance of literacy, but let's start with a little background, a little backstory. 1974, give us some history for Literacy Mid-South.
Yeah, sure. So Literacy Mid-South had its beginnings as the Memphis Literacy Council, founded in 1974, November 8th, 1974 to be exact. I remember that date because seriously, it's my wife's birthday, right? So we got our start as an adult literacy program. So a lot of our programs were focused on adults who had identified challenges, and at that point they would connect with Memphis Literacy Council, and we'd plot a path for them to meet that challenge. And what that would look like is the assigning of a volunteer tutor to help them reach that. And the challenges vary. And we had individuals that were grandparents, wanted to be able to reach their grandchildren, individuals who even wanted to pass the written portion of a driver's license exam. And so we would assign them with a tutor to meet that assigned goal.
When you look at the evolution now, working with all ages and especially youth, and we'll touch on this in a little bit, but talk about some of the powerful evolution for the organization.
Yeah, so I would say very powerfully, when we started to really work with younger learners, younger populations, really taking a target approach to kindergarten through third grade, kindergarten through fifth grade with our out of school time programming, we found that this allows us to really focus on literacy in this multi-generational way. If we're going to be real simple with it, parents have children, children have parents. We have an adult learning program. We now have this out of school time program, and we've actually functioned into getting more in-school programming as well. And so this really quite literally allows us to impact literacy across the lifespan in doing that.
And I want to touch on, we mentioned it at the front end, but why literacy is so important to the success of our community. I think we take it for granted, but it's like just going out and reading a menu, applying for a job. There's so many things, really everything is built on the foundation of literacy. So talk about it from that vantage point of why focusing on literacy is so important to the success of our community as a whole.
So we can start at the earliest points. So like when we talk about this multi-generational approach, there's a lot of research that shows that a child's primary caretaker, their educational attainment greatly determines the literacy proficiency of the child. So it's important that a parent is able to read these things at I'd say preferably at a ninth grade level or higher when it comes to understanding, because it has that direct impact on a child. When we get into the early classroom spaces, there's this shift between third grade to fourth grade where the focus goes from learning to read, that's kindergarten through third grade, and then fourth grade you have this shift where it is now you are reading to learn. So there comes this point where you have to capture this understanding in this foundational way to be able to do the work from fourth grade going forward. And then to the point that you gave, we can talk about all the different ways that literacy just approaches our lives as adults. I would say from the most simple things of reading a stop sign or reading a street sign to just determine where you're going directionally. But when you get into things like purchasing a home, like I think those of us that have bought a house, there's this thick, layer of paperwork that we have to read through because we're saying like, hey, I'm about to sign, a 30-year loan, and I want to know what are the parameters, what am I getting myself into? And that really gets into how literacy goes from, again, we're learning how to read, and then we're starting to comprehend what we're reading. So again, when you get fourth, fifth grade, even into adulthood, comprehension and understanding becomes that focal point of literacy. And there's so many things that, we miss because we don't fully comprehend or understand even what we're reading.
You all recently had some big news, some good news. And so $4.5 million grant from the Tennessee Department of Education, the largest grant ever received in the organization's history. And so talk about the grant and obviously what this means for Literacy Mid-South and for our community.
Sure. So the grant that we received comes from the Tennessee Department of Education, and as you stated, the grant is called the Tennessee All-Core Community Partner Grant. As far as a little quick grant history of that, typically their all-core grants will go to school districts. So Memphis-Shelby County Schools, I think, received one the year following the pandemic, so I guess that'll be the 21-22 school year. And so one thing the Department of Education wanted to do was really create this tutoring core that not only existed within a school district, but how do we also expand it into community work? So the grant that we received was the Department of Education's first attempt at allowing community partners to receive this grant. And so we were one of 5 recipients statewide that received similar amounts. So it was us, the United Way in Chattanooga, United Way in Knoxville, United Way in Nashville, and the Niswonger Foundation, which is in East Tennessee. I think they're in Greenville, Tennessee. So all of us received, this multi-million-dollar amounts. And what the work does, it allows us and those organizations as well to become regional tutoring coordinators. So now we have to build this work that exists within a school system where we hire dozens of tutors to conduct what is called high dosage tutoring. Our goal for the program is to reach 3,000 students over these next 2 school years. So over the current school year and then next school year. So that takes us from September 2022, where we started, and allows us to wrap up in May 2024. And so across that time frame, we're looking at partnering with several elementary schools, identifying students who are really keyed up for this sort of high dosage tutoring and helping them get to that next level of reading proficiency, which, as we stated earlier, goes into comprehension and understanding just as much as it goes into sight words and phonics.
So partnerships, obviously on the school side, how does that play out in terms of recruiting the volunteers to be able to orchestrate all of this? So talk about the volunteer side and maybe how the community can help.
Right. So I got to take a step back real quick. So all of this is a paid opportunity. So we're hiring tutors and we're paying them within a range of $20 to $27 per hour. Minimum qualifications are a high school diploma or an equivalency. And what we found out is that when we've been able to creatively carve out a space for tutors to work with children, we have a high demand. I think that when we first posted the opening that, hey, we're hiring tutors, we had more than 1,000 people sign up.
That's awesome.
And so then it became our challenge, like, okay, we definitely can't hire 1,000. We're looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of, maybe like 100, maybe 110 tutors to work with us over this time frame. And so we had to, cut that down, just looking at qualifications, looking at experience, looking at, have they done this sort of, engagement work with children before. So, of course, you can go to literacymidsouth.org, that's .org. And there should be a tab on our website. It's called Tutor 901. That will lead you directly to all of the application processes that you can complete, and someone will reach out to you. We're doing interviews on a rolling basis. Currently, I believe we have, I want to say 63 tutors that we have just working across 14 elementary schools throughout Memphis and Shelby County. And this includes traditional schools as well as 5 charter school networks that we're working in. But of course, the other thing is, this is a part-time opportunity. So, what we've also found is that, this is in many ways a step to the next thing. So we have had individuals who've done this for, a few weeks or so, and then they move on to a full-time opportunity with some other organization. So we have to keep doing our interviews on this rolling basis. So with that, I encourage people who are interested to apply. Again, go to literacymidsouth.org, look for the tab that says Tutor 901, and then we will get right into contacting you and placing you should there be an opening.
Yeah, and I think that's an important piece of it, is keeping that pipeline of talent full, and and like you said, knowing that this is a paid opportunity.
Yes.
What's been the feedback so far? What's been the feedback from the tutors and also from the schools and the students? Because I can imagine this is a huge opportunity for them.
It's been very positive, and we're proud to be a part of that. We have everything from, when you go into the space and kids, they see their tutor, they're happy. They're like, oh, that's my tutor. We're going to do these things today. And they're happy about it. I would say from the school standpoint, we look at an additional adults coming into the space that often helps with, I would say just school management. Like if you've ever been in an elementary school, and you're looking at 400 young people who are going from here to here, class to class, whether it's recess or lunch or whatever the case may be, anytime you have just a couple other adults in the space to help manage that and get kids to where they need to be, I think schools are always grateful for that. But aside from I would say that part of human capacity, to have a qualified person in there to reinforce the literacy assessments and to reinforce the literacy assignments that's going on, I think that has proven to be just an invaluable addition to their school environment.
What are some of the ways that we can help? I mean, obviously you all are a nonprofit. And so when you talk about being able to support your efforts financially through volunteerism, talk about the different ways the community can help.
Yeah, sure. So again, when we talk about Literacy Mid-South and we have our programs that exist, across the lifespan, I'll kind of work backwards. So I'll start with our adult program. That program is completely volunteer driven. So if you have a heart for helping an adult reach that next level or reach that point of proficiency that provides them with a level of satisfaction, please, sign up. You can still go to our website and click on our programs, or click on the tab that says About, and get connected with our adult learning program. Again, that's 100% volunteer based, and we'd love to have people to come and participate with that. We're also hiring tutors to work in the in-school program. So go to our website, literacymidsouth.org, look at Tutor 901, and please sign up if that is something that you would like to do. To your point, and it is Giving Tuesday. We are a 501c3 tax exempt nonprofit, so all donations that come to us can be written off on your taxes. So we would greatly appreciate any donation of any size. And one thing that we've been kind of pushing, we haven't quite built it up just yet. We're approaching 50 years as an organization. We're approaching 50 years of impacting literacy support in the Mid-South. So if if it's on your heart to give $50, we would gladly receive it, but you can always give more. We're not going to restrict you just to 50. But again, I think those are the things that really help out with us. Just last year, we donated over 100,000 books to children, families, community partners, and schools. And I say that because book distribution, like as far as us obtaining brand new books, that's not a problem for us. But we would like to continue dishing out the books at the rate that we have. All the books that we give are brand new, fresh out of the box, and culturally responsive to the students and the populations that we serve. And that takes a certain amount of financial capital to do that. One thing I do want to add, and I just want to put this out there. Last year, we also unveiled a book vending machine, right? So, and this is a completely free resource. It's typically housed at Scenic Hills Elementary, but we've traveled with that machine. So we've gone to different places and different spaces and had the machine there as a prop, and people were able to get, again, free books from there. Again, it's just like a Pepsi machine, except you're not spending your quarters and your dollars. You're just, touching the numbers, and your selected text will fall. We would love to have sponsorship around the book vending machine. I think the cost, when we talk about ordering and shipping and receiving, we're looking at somewhere between $5,000 and $6,000. So we want to talk about what does it mean to sponsor a book vending machine that will travel to different locations and continue to permit us to do the book distributions in the way that we've done that. So there are a lot of different ways where you can give, and a lot of different ways that we can discuss and be creative about how your giving can be targeted and even sponsored. But again, as you said, we're a nonprofit. It's all tax exempt, and we appreciate any support that is given our way.
Give me one more thing that you wish everyone knew about Literacy Mid-South.
Wow, one more thing. I would say that we are what you would call a regional literacy intermediary. And what that means is we have programs, we engage in thought leadership and academic planning with the school district, and we also convene neighborhood and community groups to make sure that the work we're doing in the community is complementary to what is going on in the school districts and in the classrooms.
Nice. You mentioned it before and throughout, but go ahead and mention again. Website, where do we go to learn more to get connected in with Literacy Mid-South?
Sure. Our website is literacymidsouth.org. That's literacymidsouth.org. Two tabs to look out for. There's the donate tab, because again, it is Giving Tuesday. And there's the Tutor 901 tab if you're interested in joining our tutor corps and helping out with the 15 schools that we're currently engaged with.
Well, Sam, thank you for all you and your amazing team do. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.